MakingIt podcast. Now, there's some new gear in this studio, so if it sounds a little bit different, that's why. We may not have nailed it just yet, but we believe Daniel sounds good. So Daniel's back on the podcast. You've seen him here before. Last time he came on, we were talking about making it as an entrepreneur. Now, last time Daniel hadn't been to the national finals of the Peter Jones Foundation's competition, but now he has. So we're going to talk about his experience. We're going to talk about his next steps with Temedix, which is his business about health, and an app about making sure people have practitioners available. And then we're going to dive into some topics such as failure and bouncing back from bumps in the road, if you want to call them. So Daniel, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you for having me back. Not been bad. Thank you. Thank you for having me back as well. I think it's great to be on back on here, just because I think. Obviously, at the time, I hadn't been to the national final, so I wasn't able to speak as much on kind of that winning, whether I ended up winning or losing and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's good to be back. So thank you.
Nice one, bro. So, how was the national final? So, if just to begin with, if you could talk about the day's experience for us.
So we arrived. It was just me and my girlfriend, Tiana. We arrived the day before. Just got kind of, I didn't want to arrive on the day just because I feel like I'd be too nervous, you know what I mean? So we arrived the day before. We were staying in Canary Wharf, which was about 20-30 minutes from where we were meant to be. So on the day, obviously, headed down. I think it was for about 12 p.m. I think, because it started. It didn't really start. It was just almost like an interval. So we were meant to be down there for 1, all of us down there, and I think we were the last.
In the morning.
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Yeah. So we were meant to be there about 1 p.m. and I think we were one of the last ones to arrive from the national finalists. And on the actual day itself, we went in there and. They were just there was a lot of people. I think there was some members of the youth panel and the youth group, because they do obviously they help kind of support younger businesses secondary schools, sixth forms, that sort of thing, and they were kind of displaying this in I think there were little stands in this other room where they had loads of little stands, and each person had their own business that they kind of ran, and they actually did it, and it was quite impressive, because some of them they're ran in groups. I remember this one. This business, it was they had a jeans business where they recycled jeans, used jeans, and they would personalize it depending on how a person wanted it and that sort of thing, and they had some really, really cool designs. So I think that was really cool. And then there were another one which I found really, really interesting. I think it was those Apple AirTags, I think they're called. Yeah. So they had made one of those, and they had sold it within their school, and they literally made they literally made a really good profit from it, and they kind of had a little display on how much they're selling it for, their return on investments, their margins, and that sort of thing.
So they were using it with so kids in school. Were using the AirTags so they could see where the kids were and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was for. So, and they just kind of have a little pad showing kind of how much they made and how much it kind of cost them to do. So, yeah, it was really good. And then Peter ended up coming. I think it was 30 minutes after.
Did you get to meet him?
Yeah, I did get to meet him again, and he kind of just went around and just spoke to all the little stands and that. And I remember when he came in, everyone just started clapping and that sort of thing, and he was just stood there awkwardly, which is I found really funny, to be fair. But and after that, we went into another little room where we had some canopies and this sort of thing just before, but obviously I wasn't feeling really hungry at the time. Mostly due to the nerves, to be fair, but I think at the time, I look back at it now, but it wasn't really that deep. There wasn't really a need to be that nervous at the time, just because I had already gotten probably the most nerve-wracking stuff out of the way now, and it was just about waiting to see kind of the result of that, you see. So yeah, after that it got to like 10-20 minutes after, and then we all went in like this big room with a little display, and it was like a little kind of like a massive screen showing like the different different kind of panels, the different people that were there, and what type of businesses they ran, and yeah, because everyone else had like their own competition, if you get what I mean. So all the secondary schoolers, the sixth formers, they were all kind of competing with each other, and they were all also like trying to win their own thing. And yeah, I think the first person that spoke, it was Peter. Yeah, Peter spoke, and he just kind of spoke about how what type of achievement it was to be there, and how we should all kind of be proud of ourselves for kind of just being there, and what we've done with our businesses, and how we've overcame like certain challenges. And yeah, it was just great to hear. And then after that, it was, I think we went. I think it was a comedian that came about first. His name's Kamal, and yeah, he was really
Well,
good.
On the show.
Yeah, he was on the show. He was just kind of talking. He came in. I think he was more of he did have some like comedic outputs on there, but it was more motivational, if you get what I mean. So yeah, he just kind of repeated the same things that Peter said, and how we should like really be proud of being there, and it's kind of a thing that you put at like the top of your CV, and not something that you kind of overlook, because it's such a good achievement, you see.
Yeah, 100%, Brian. I think you should 100% be proud of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
man.
But yeah, and then after that it got to the main results. So the main competition results, we started like from like really, I think it was from primary schoolers actually when it started, and it went up to sixth formers, and then it was us after that. And I think it was, at the time it just felt so nerve-wracking, because I was just sat there and just waiting, contemplating, thinking to my head the whole time, like, can I read anyone? Does anyone? Because you see, Rupinder, she was like the head of the National Entrepreneur Finals, kind of the running of it and that sort of thing. So she knew he already won. And so did a couple of other like panel members, and I was just trying to read them as much as possible, but at the same time I was trying not to like go crazy, if you get what I mean. So I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, it is what it is. And I remember my girlfriend was trying to calm me down, and she was like, if you keep trying to read everyone, you're just gonna go like absolutely insane. So I calmed down a bit, and I was just kind of just chilling there. And obviously in my head, whilst all of this was going on in my head, I was just thinking to my head, like, what if I don't win, or what if I do win? Like, what am I gonna do with the money? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do if I do win the £1,000? What am I gonna do if I win the 5,000 or the £10,000? And it was almost like I was trying to give myself a bit of hope, you see. And it ended up obviously I didn't end up winning, and Peter ended up being a bit rushed, because we were getting to the end of it, but like our part, it was like a little bit rushed, because I think Peter got a call or something. I'm not sure what was happening, but he kind of had to go down for an emergency. So they kind of displayed the filming that we done on the national finals, and
is that available anywhere?
I think so. Yeah.
We'll have a look after this. If it's available, it'll be in the description.
Yeah, I think so. I think it might have been on their LinkedIn or Instagram, I think. And they didn't do it on the YouTube this year. I'm not too sure why. I think it might have been because they're partnering with FRP, so that might have changed a few things. But yeah, so they showed everyone's filming first. So I think they've done like a little video film, and it was just showing everyone kind of explaining what the businesses are.
At this point, things starting to get more real and real.
Yeah, they were getting like really scary. Honestly, I didn't know what to think, and I just think just watching it back and realizing that literally everyone was watching you talk on like a massive screen, and I'm just there like, what's going on? Like, how am I even here in this room right now? You know what I mean? And I remember you talk about an imposter syndrome quite a lot in your podcast, and I think this is something that I kind of struggle with quite a lot. I think I remember like so many times I would question myself and be like, how am I here right now? Like what? Like why am I like in London right now? You know what I mean? Like why am I pitching to Peter Jones right now? And obviously, it's a huge achievement. Sorry, but honestly, I still can't deal with the fact that I actually pitched to Peter Jones. You know what I mean? Because it's absolutely insane to go from kind of watching someone on TV to actually talking to them in real life and interacting with them. And I think that was kind of really cool. You see. So, and one thing for me, sorry, did I tell you whether I was still waiting on the awards, or did I tell you like if I've been to the finals yet, like the national finals, like pitched to Peter Jones?
You spoke about all that.
Oh, okay.
Last time you were here, we spoke about your journey towards getting to the finals.
Yeah.
And then we were going to talk about the finals today.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, how was it when you found out you didn't win? Can you describe that moment for us? Because I can imagine that wasn't that easy.
Yeah, I was gutted because I think the way they went about it is they said who came second first, and then who came first, and then Nathan came second. Nathan, he runs MDF Tuition, great business with his partner Liam, and I remember they said Nathan's name first, and at that moment I was like, I don't know, because I wasn't completely sure, because Liam, he was the winner, Liam Hart, and his business is absolutely incredible. He runs Rephobia, which is like VR virtual therapy, which essentially helps people like overcome their fears and that sort of thing through VR, which is absolutely incredible. And I remember me and Liam during the finals, we were kind of probably the most kind of scared to kind of go on and pitch, and I remember I was first and then Liam was second, so we were both really like scared to kind of go in there. And I was honestly so happy for him though, because seeing Liam kind of grow and kind of experiencing what I was experiencing on the final day, and seeing him kind of still do well and ended up winning, it's incredible for him. So he's gonna go on to obviously achieve some great things, and so will everybody else on in the finals. But once I heard Nathan's name, sorry, I had something in my head telling me that was probably gonna be everything, because obviously Liam was quite further ahead in his kind of in his business than I was at the time. So I thought if someone were to win, it probably would be Liam. And once I heard that it didn't come second, I knew it was probably not going to happen after that. But Nathan. Once Nathan's name got called up, they both went up and they kind of just took pictures with Peter and like holding the kind of the little trophy that they had, and then obviously Liam went up, did the same thing, and then we all kind of went up and then took like a big massive picture, and after this it pretty much ended, if I'm not wrong. There was a bit of like networking at the end and that sort of thing, but obviously I wasn't in the mood for it at the time, and I was just absolutely gutted. I mean, obviously I kind of expected to be gutted if the result didn't go my way, but I think looking back at it now, it's still like such a big achievement to achieve, especially a year into my business journey, you see, and it was kind of during the part where I was still getting started, because I think the first 6-7 months of my business I wasn't really like doing kind of much practical stuff. It was just about research and doing market research and seeing what competitors are out there. So I think it was a very big signal for me to just keep going with the business, and no matter what, whether if I have to pivot, I'll do it, or whether taking certain opportunities just to kind of go for it, you know what I mean? So yeah, it was great.
And that's the thing, brother, like as much as you didn't win the process, you you won the regional finals, which is incredible.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to the national finals, which is incredible itself. In a way, winning would have just been that bonus, but for you it doesn't feel like that because you know it was such a big thing. You know, the money and everything, you could get behind it. But to get to where you got to, brother, like they were all saying on the day, you should be very proud. And I think like you're saying there, it's what do you take away from this experience, and it's I'm proud of myself for doing that, and now I've proved to myself I can take opportunities and I can make the most of them. I was just going to ask you, you're still connected with these people?
Yeah.
That's a great thing.
Yeah,
if
it
you can
is.
keep those connections with, you know, like you're saying, very smart
Yeah,
people.
yeah, it was great. I think Liam actually gave me his number afterwards. Like on my way when I was on my way when I was on my way back to Newcastle, sorry, and yeah, he just kind of spoke about just keeping in touch. You see, because it's so important. I think for all us young kind of entrepreneurs coming and coming about together. And getting obviously to the finals, I think it's an absolutely great achievement. So obviously we all kind of pledged to keep in touch with each other and kind of update each other on kind of how we're doing and that sort of thing. So that's great.
Brilliant. So talking about you now realising you can take opportunities and you want to take the next steps with your business Temedix, what are those next steps for you now?
So we recently signed, I think it was about a month, 2 months after the national finals. I connected with this lady called Victoria, and she was actually she's this founder from this business called My Language Connection, and she obviously works in health tech as well. And I was actually meant to be at the Giant Health event in London on this, I think it was late December. But obviously I couldn't make it due to kind of having some travel restrictions. So I ended up kind of connecting with her, and we had like an online meeting because I think she saw like my name down on like the list of the founders that were kind of gonna be there on the day. So connected with her, had a few online meetings, and we kind of just spoke about the business, how it was winning the national finals, that sort of thing. And she helped me like quite a lot so far. I think she's connected with me with quite a lot of good connections, you see. And the first one, who is now my clinical advisor, Emily Hucknell, and she's an ENT registrar, and she's basically a junior doctor in ear, nose and throat surgery, but she has like quite a lot of experience in orthopedics and musculoskeletal care and all that sort of thing. So I thought it would kind of be great to bring in Emily and to help me in with like, the red flags and the certain symptoms and that sort of thing. And she's been absolutely like massive help. And going forward, I think there's some good opportunities out there. There's some good opportunities out there. I can't get too much into it now.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, don't say what you don't need to say.
Yeah. There's some good opportunities to come. But I think right now it's just about keeping going. Just keep going. Obviously got back in touch with Lee, who's the business advisor at the business clinic at Northumbria, and I've just been speaking to him about the business, kind of seeing how to improve, and I think it's just about just making sure that I'm able to kind of hit the short term goals that I kind of want to hit with, not only for university but also with the business and everything else that I got kind of going on in the background, because obviously I don't want to get burnt out, and I got to make sure that I keep in touch with relationships and not kind of become too focused on the future, because it's something that I struggle a lot with, and
So how are ways you're going to do that? Because from what you just described to me, it sounds like you want to try find ways to be more present. And you know Derek, coaches at the uni.
Yeah.
I was having a coffee with him yesterday, and he was on about an hourglass. You know the hourglass is where the sand goes through, and he said, in a way, well, from what he heard from someone was, you can look at the hourglass as the past is where all that sand is. The future is the empty part of the glass, and then the present is that bit in between. but so often we let the present be passive. We let it pass through us, and like right now, I feel very present right now with this podcast, and that's a great thing. There's certain things that do make us present, but when you're obviously thinking about the business so much, about the future of the business, maybe you're reflecting on the past a lot, how are you going to remain present?
You see, I'll tell you this story, Dan. Right, last weekend, I had a little bit of a, let's say, crash down, if you want to call it that, where things just got too much, really. And obviously at the time, I kind of just, my head, I kind of just absolutely lost it, I think. Everything just it became too much. So I just thought I'd go on a walk. And that's kind of how I deal with things now, because I think going back, I would just kind of bottle these emotions and not kind of look at it in that sort of way. I kind of just bottle them and think, you know what, I'll be fine. Life goes on, you see. Because I think I became too in touch with the future, and I would literally just like be on autopilot during the week, and I would constantly have something to look forward up to. And I think it's not a bad thing to have things to look forward up to, and to have things in the future that you're kind of excited about doing and that sort of thing. But I let it get too much. I think it would just be like, say I had something happen on the Saturday or the Friday, Monday to like Thursday or Monday to Friday, I'd absolutely not be in touch. Like everything would just be like on autopilot mode, where I wouldn't really do things that I enjoy. I wouldn't be present, you see. So I thought I've got to stop. I've got to really stop, because I think if I take this on forward, it's just gonna get worse and worse, and I'm not gonna be able to kind of be present in my life. And literally, I mean, these are kind of the best years I'm probably gonna not gonna have, but like these are the best years of my life so far, I think. And so I think I'm just kind of letting them kind of go past me, because I became too in touch with kind of the future goals and what I want to achieve in the future. But it's I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. I mean, yeah, it's good having Temedix, and yeah, it's good having things to look forward up to in the future, but if you're not present in your life, what's the point?
Okay, this is very interesting, man, that we've got into this, because I felt like I had a bit of a crash out last year with like, doing this podcast, doing my coaching, and I know exactly how you feel. If you don't mind, it's up to you how you express this, but how important is your girlfriend Tiana in terms of helping you be present? And I know for me, when I was going through that period of, crashing out or burnout, I wasn't having the best quality time with Scarlett, my girlfriend. So what's that relationship been like with your girlfriend, and then how does she help you remain present?
Honestly, she's probably the reason why I'm still saying, to be completely honest. I think it's good to have someone that kind of keeps you in check, if you know what I mean, because yeah, like all this stuff is great, but Tiana was like almost that escape that I had from kind of everything, the professional stuff that I had going on, like university and kind of sports outside and the business and that sort of thing. And every time I would kind of go to her, and I could kind of explain my emotions and how I felt and how I wasn't really kind of feeling in touch with my life, essentially. And she's helped me massively, because she kind of tells me what kind of she doesn't tell me what to do, but like she recommends what kind of could be a good idea, or certain things like that, you see. And whenever she comes over, that's almost my escape of kind of like having an escape from the almost too focused reality that I had. So although that is a good thing, I also started looking to her almost too much, if you get what I mean, like too much of an escape. And she told me this as well, and she told me that I need to get more kind of in touch with myself, like know why I kind of want to live every day, and why what you know, what's the point of kind of, because I knew what my purpose was. And I remember I told you this last time, that I saw Temedix as like in line with kind of being my purpose. But I thought, is it really like, do I want my purpose to be like kind of something else, almost like not within me?
Which you struggled last time, didn't you?
I did struggle, and I thought to myself that can't be it, because if I let Temedix be my purpose, or if I let something else like external be my purpose, I'll kind of just not be in touch with myself, and not kind of be in touch with my feelings, and I'll let other things kind of influence how I feel on the day. So she helps me honestly so much, not only escape from reality by being with her, but also by kind of recommending me certain things, and kind of being able to talk to her. And I think that's massive, kind of having like a support system, especially when you become too focused on doing something. And I remember, I think it's been 2-3 months that I have not played literally any sports at all, because I became too in touch with like trying to be absolutely perfect, and focus on the future. And I think even though it's good, it wasn't good for my health. It was good for my future, yes. It was good for things that may happen later on, which I kind of don't even know right now. So I thought to myself, I'm trying to almost be too perfect for a future that might not even be there, you see? So just live life, you know what I mean? Like, live day by day. Don't try to like obviously live in autopilot like I was, and letting kind of your days go by waiting for like something at the end of the week, or something at the end of the month, or end of the year, you know what I mean? Just that's
it's interesting, man. Something I thought about before was how we can make our success our personality sometimes.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's what you were doing a bit. You were becoming Temedix.
Yeah,
you weren't Dan in Deter anymore. You were Temedix.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is I don't know if you discovered it yet, but what is this new internal purpose you have now? What does that mean to you?
I don't know if I've got it, to be completely honest.
At least you're trying to find it.
Yeah, I don't know if I've got it, but I think I am on the way to going to find it. I think I'm still, I'm obviously not perfect, so I'm still obviously kind of running on autopilot sometimes, or becoming too focused on future things. But I've just learned to let things go, just to not like think of, you know, the future constantly, because literally Temedix became our like overall thing, where it was like 24 hours, like it was constantly on my mind. And it wasn't only Temedix, but things that I wanted to do kind of in the future, like after university, and university itself. So I was just not doing things that I was enjoying, and I think that's probably a big part to why I was struggling so much. The fact that I didn't really have something outside of my kind of my professional being that I enjoy, and that I was kind of doing, because I also stopped playing the guitar as well. I used to play it, but I became too focused on the business. I thought I didn't have enough time for it. There's no point. I stopped going to the gym. I stopped playing football. And everything just came crashing down, because it's not sustainable. It's honestly not sustainable. You can only do it for so long, and yeah, it might be good at the time, but it's not worth it. You might as well just honestly just live your life. That's probably the best way I could put it.
So you mentioned a couple of things there, but what are some things you now want to bring almost back into your life to create that balance?
I think sport is very important. I think, especially for me, I'm literally the course that I'm doing, sport and exercise science. So it's always been important to me, and it's always been like almost like a coping mechanism as well. Because once you're playing it, or once you're doing something, within sport, you're not thinking of other things. You see, you're only thinking of that. in that moment, and that helps you stay in touch with real life. So sport is definitely something that I want to bring back. I think relationships as well, because I think obviously apart from my girlfriend, but other relationships with like my friends and that sort of thing, I became too distant, and it wasn't like I didn't want to like speak to them or anything like that. I was just too focused on the future. But these are kind of the friends that I've lived my life with. Like these are the friends that I had from years before, and I've grew up with. So why was I trying to become to indulge in a future that it may not have them in? You know what I mean? Because growing up with them is one thing, but obviously going into the future with them is another, especially for us, because we're not living in the same cities now, or we're not as close with each other, we're not going out every single day. So I think it's very important to keep in touch with them. See, even texting them, it helps, you know. But yeah, every once in a while, I think trying just to get together and even just going on a night out, I think that really helps. And yeah, that become, I think that's gonna become something that I kind of wanna bring on like later on. Yeah.
Brilliant, bro. Well, this has been a very interesting episode because, you know, me and you both spoke before. We wanted to talk about Temedix and the national finals and what the next steps of Temedix were, but we've actually come to realise some of your new discoveries.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Before we close up, I like to ask this question just in case. But is there anything else you wanted to get off your mind, or at all? If there's not, that's fine. If you feel like you've said everything, but I want to at least give you that platform.
Yeah, honestly, I think what you're doing right now, like the podcast, is absolutely like huge. I think when I first came in, I remember the first podcast. Sorry, I was very nervous, and I'm still am now. But I think kind of going through that learning phase of not ever being in a podcast and kind of being one now, I'm already kind of learning the kind of the ins and outs of things and how things work, and not to almost become too indulge of like the camera, you know what I mean? Like just kind of just go on and speak. And I think you've helped me massively. Not only helped me kind of present myself in a better way, but also speak a lot better, because I've always kind of struggled with it. And as you can probably tell, I put in a lot of filler words during doing speaks like this, or even just like regular kind of talking with like people and that sort of thing. And I think podcast it's a really great way to kind of go about and just explaining certain things or explaining your emotions, because even though you are getting recorded, it doesn't feel like there's people watching you see. So I think that's really, really like incredible what you're doing. So I really appreciate you having me here, back here again. And yeah,
of course, Brian. This won't be the last time either. And I noticed you being back this time that you, you know, not that you weren't speaking more last time, but that you were more comfortable. You weren't as nervous, but you were also expressing yourself even better. And what I did notice today is, you know, you were very open today with us, and that's so important. I think being open yourself means people who listen and watch this now will potentially be more open in their lives. So now I bounce that back to you, man. Grateful for you coming on. I appreciate you coming on, Daniel.
Thank you so much.
That's been Daniel Indi, Making It Moments. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much, and thanks for listening or watching.